You were really sad Putin's got cancer?
What?
Sweat Equity Podcast and streaming show, the #1 comedy business podcast in the world. Yeah, Ric Flair, I hear you. Pragmatic entrepreneurial advice with a real raw dog talk. Listen to us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, kinda Vimeo for sure, because we're hot on Vimeo, baby. LinkedIn, your mom's Sony Walkman, all that stuff. Hey, hey, you like that?
I'm here.
Just doing that. Just doing a hype hard. This episode is sponsored by Squarespace. Create a custom website or online store with an all-in-one solution from our dogs at Squarespace. We've made about 200 sites or worked on 200 Squarespace sites on our own, probably at this point.
You say that.
That's a lot, for sure. But it's my go-to for a CMS, content management system. You can you've got Fluid Engine now that you can make websites any which way you want it. No programming, no coding, unless you want to. It's up to you.
Okay.
You can add integrations, no problem, lickety split.
I want money.
You start with that free trial today with the link in our episode description. And if you don't need a website, you should need a website. Everybody should have one. But if you don't need one and you want to help out the show, you can be our BFFs by subscribing to the podcast and whatever you listen it to. Rate it 5 stars. Give us a little hookup. Holler if you hear me.
Okay.
And write a short review. And then share the show. All that takes 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe 90.
Do it, though.
Maybe 90
Actually
if you're
do it.
driving. Right? Just do it. Share the show. Hey, here's something you like. Dick jokes and business, right?
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship and vagina stuff. Let's get it going. Hotty toddy.
Sweat equity. Sweat equity.
Sweat equity.
Sweat equity.
Sweat equity. You are listening to the Sweat Equity Podcast. Sweat equity.
This is the first duo podcast. I wasn't sure if I clicked the right fucking Zoom link when I opened up. So pleasure to meet you guys.
Yeah, we were just scurrying.
Coming in hot. I like it.
We saw your email that we didn't see for the last hour about the passcode, and we thought we turned it off.
Yeah, it was almost 2 in a row there for us.
Yep.
It's all right.
But yeah, I like that you're coming in kind of frustrated at your computer like we are.
That's my entire life, brother. So no worries.
What does that mean? Lay it on us.
I've been in computers or dealing with computers since I was 8 years old. It's always frustrating. Even as a technologist, these things they used to work for me, but now I work for them.
Well, before we get into that, I want to know more about that. Before we do that, why don't you tell everybody where to find you? Social media, websites, otherwise.
Yeah. LinkedIn is your best bet. It's just Beau Button, BEAUBUTTON. I'm the only one on LinkedIn. I do have a pretty active Twitter account, but most of that's just copied from LinkedIn.
All right. I hope that ding dong from our Otter AI that integration came in.
Yes, it's definitely in there.
Okay.
It's in the show. It made it.
We'll put all the links in the episode description. So we always ask. Here's a good question that I forget to ask too. Have you listened to this show before?
I have not. No, I have Carson going out crawling the internet for shows he feels like I would be compatible with. But no, I'm not familiar with your show, but I will be now.
I'm wondering if your booking agent did that as well, because we get some that I think they probably just programmatically scoop up a bunch of business.
We'll be all right with Beau. I think Beau will be good.
No, he dropped an F-bomb in 30 seconds.
Well, it
He's
looks like
great.
he's taken the computers behind you look like they caught your wrath.
Yeah, for anybody,
it looks like you've just done
anybody
some
on
damage there,
audio,
so that's cool.
You can tell he's a real technologist because he's in a very boring room. Like Bill Belichick decorated it.
Right.
Like there's
Not
nothing.
a filing cabinet.
There's nothing on the walls. That
matches the walls.
The grayest gray filing cabinet, and then open towers of servers. Or it looks like if you had a PC in the 90s,
I was harvesting GPUs. Yes, I was going through some computers we had in storage, and I was taking out their GPUs. But they've been sitting there for about 2 years. I haven't moved them.
It makes a statement. It's like, I got things going on. You know,
It's like a message to the others.
It's not staged. I promise you, it's not staged.
I would hope not, because that would be a bizarre.
Very authentic. I will give you that.
Oh, he knows a lot about computers. He has 2 of them open on desk.
Shit, I gotta convince him. Quick, give me some wires. Throw that shit on the desk. There, perfect.
Well, we always ask everybody that came on the first time, and by the way, we're the #1 comedy business podcast in the world, so you're welcome. We always ask everybody coming on for the first time, what advice would you give your 13-year-old self?
Oh, that's a unique one for me since I started so young. 13, I would have already been in the software development profession. What I would have told myself is any money I have, put it into real estate. Literally. Like, I know as a 13-year-old, my options would have been limited, but like find somebody I trust as an adult that could, manage my money for me instead of buying, garbage or electronics, because I wouldn't be sitting here, having to continuously grind if I would have invested in real estate.
That is the only.
That's a new one.
That's the only answer we've had that's been an investment. Like you did Back to the Future, like like when what's the dude? What's the bad guy's name? Back to the Future 2.
Biff?
Yeah, like Biff, like didn't he get all the Super Bowl bets and stuff?
Yeah,
and
that's
made
how
money.
he became rich. But maybe the question is, what advice would you give your 8-year-old self?
Yeah,
because how far back should we go here?
You're a real entrepreneur.
No, 8 was that pivotal intersection where I went from being a kid playing hide and go seek to being hunkered down in my bedroom learning how to program. Let's see.
So it was
what
8. Okay.
Advice? Honestly, it's still relative to finances. Like at the end of the day, just keep on, hold more of my cash. I have a very interesting relationship with money. So like everything when it comes to advice, if I could go back in the past, it would have been, hey, be a spendthrift. But yeah, even as an 8-year-old, I was outside, making money with my mom or cutting grass when I was a teenager. But yeah, just hold on to more of that money. And again, as I got older, I would have been better off. I'm still grinding. I'm 39 now.
Yeah, you're about our age.
Exactly our age. When's your birthday? I mean, it could be the same birthday. It could be
May
exactly
12th,
the same.
1983.
Okay, about 4 months older than me. But whatever. It would have been cool.
Really, you were really shooting for the moon there.
Would have been cool.
So I wouldn't do our audience I would be doing a disservice to our audience if I didn't ask what were these big losses. Were you going kind of MC Hammer style?
How many tigers did you have?
Yeah,
No, not even like that. So I've always, I'm very attracted to learning things, and I when it comes to a new hobby, if it's drones, cameras, anything, I have a 0 to 1,000 personality. So my shortcoming is I will invest very heavily into that hobby, even if I don't necessarily continue the hobby. So I've gone through everything, and I still have most of those things, either in storage units or in the house or somewhere in the office. But I don't, it's not a regret because the knowledge or the things that I've learned in going down those rabbit holes is precious to me. That's why people still come to me and ask me these questions, and I have a lot of, background information on pretty much every technologically tangential subject. But yeah, it wasn't like I was buying Ferraris or anything. Nothing like that, thank God. No drugs, nothing like that. It was just, I don't hesitate to buy, technology or gadgets if it, allows me to learn something new.
Oh, I can feel that.
Yeah.
Turn the cameras around in this room. Looks exactly like your background.
Yeah, my goal this year, instead of having 20, my New Year's resolution goal, I was having a list of 20 and seeing if I can knock them all off. I get about half of them the last couple of years. And the goal this year, because I'm not naturally money hungry, but I need to be, because I don't want to be in this position I'm in forever. So it's just one goal is like, just make over 200K this year. Just do that. And everything else will take care of itself. That seems to be the hard line to do. But it sounds like you're kind of in the same thing, because I would forego, I've been doing stand-up 15 years, and that is a negative money game. until you make money magically somehow, until you're headlining and stuff. But like, you do it. I do it because I love it.
Low overhead there, though.
Same with the podcast. We're not buying Ferraris from the podcast yet. But it's one of those things where
no overhead.
But it does. We do see the forest for the trees, where it is kind of that thing where this show specifically, we feel like we do have proof of concept now. Our low self-esteem about doing this is gone, that's in the past. We know the show's good. It's just we got to figure out how to kind of get it to that next level. What do you think what do you think your self hurdles are in the business world?
I mean, honestly, I don't see any for the business. I mean, I've been a serial entrepreneur my entire life, and the current business, Atlas Reality, by far the most financially successful that I've been a participant in. I've had one other successful exit, but it was coupled with a divorce. So it almost was a net zero transaction. You see success, you cash out for money, and then you see attorneys and ex-wife.
We are cut from the same cloth.
We know that game.
My agency fucking dissolved because I was having a drama all the time. I would walk in the house and be told, "You're a bad husband. You're a bad son. You're a bad father." I'm like, "Okay, cool. I'll take the kids now."
I need to go with that down that way. And you just keep it.
You can't sue me. You can't sue me because it really happened.
I know.
What?
Run.
Dude, you want to go back in episodes and listen to both of our, like your divorce was a year after mine kind of thing?
No, I don't.
It was sad times. But
I want to hear about Atlas Reality.
With every bad, there's a good. And that probably, maybe that ignited you to kind of get this going.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I've always been self-driven. I've got an insatiable curiosity. It's not just software. Like anything tangential to computers, electronics, I've always been fascinated with. I enjoy tinkering, taking things apart, learning about them, but my attention span's relatively short. But yeah, I mean, that did drive me and motivate me. When you have 3 kids and you've got, all of these things, these financial kind of obligations, you need to set yourself up for success. But Atlas Reality originally started off as a company called Cerberus Interactive. We were a software development, really video game development consultancy. We built games for other companies, and we did that for about a year. And we pretty quickly realized that even though you're building games, which can be fun, building games for other people is it's bullshit. It's not fun. There's no joy in it. So we pivoted, and we decided to build our own game. The first game we built was called Atlas Empires, which is kind of an amalgamation of Pokemon Go and Clash of Clans, and then the current game that we're working on that's live is called Atlas Earth, and that's by far our biggest success to date.
Atlas Earth. I want to play it, but I have pretty much given away video games in my life because I get addicted to them, and that I can just tell by the logo. I think I get addicted to Atlas Earth.
It's probably not what you think. So oddly enough, I don't play games. I have probably one of the largest console collections in Austin, if not Texas, when it comes to legacy 8-bit, 16-bit machines. Again, it's the appreciation for the hardware and what the original OGs had to go through to build games. But I do not have the attention span for a game like these new modern games that when you install them, there's a fucking career mode. And I'm like, I've got a job. I don't need to learn how to be a driver to drive a car. But yeah, I mean, there's an attraction there. But Atlas Earth is a play to earn game, and it's not for everybody. We want it to be for everybody, and we're getting it there. But it's in the virtual real estate kind of genre. So it's not something you're going to be playing every day against other people. It's a relatively passive game, but we pay people in cash. You can actually earn cash. You can check or cash out into PayPal, and that's the attraction for most of our audience is passive income.
Okay.
That's very now
I want to know how this game works. Why are you paying people? What does that do? Why would you do that?
And how do you do that? What brings in revenue to do that?
Yeah, we were inspired by this Web3 movement. So
so bad news for you. We had a guest last episode that was on NyQuil. I don't know. Like
he was very much talking about Web3, and we just didn't get it very good.
he looked like he was in a hostage situation to be on the show that he asked us to be on.
No pressure.
I am not a Web3 champion. I talk more shit about Web3 and blockchain cryptocurrencies than anybody.
Go.
I'm not a fan of what they're doing in regards to like the snake oil salesman type, approach. But the technology, we could get into the weeds if you wanted to, but like we were inspired by what we thought Web3 meant. So my partner Sami, the CEO of the company, Web 1, the original internet, was access to information. Web 2 was access to people. So think about, MySpace and Facebook. In Web 3, our kind of interpretation is you've got these stakeholders, the individuals like yourself, we're logging into Facebook and Instagram or TikTok religiously. We're being monetized. We are the currency. And for us, Web 3 is about ownership. We want our users to have some equity, something tangible in what we're doing. So sharing in our success. So the business model that we built, we sell virtual real estate. We allow you to earn virtual rent. That rent accrues at a relatively slow, pennies, fractions of a penny per second. But there's things that you can do. And the entire game loop is if you do something in the game that allows us to generate revenue, we'll share that revenue with you in the form of virtual rent. So if you watch an ad and we get a nickel, you'll get a fraction of that nickel. And when it gets to $5, you go log in, you cash out to PayPal, and boom, you've got money in your checking account.
Interesting. Do you want to be slumlords?
I'm going to download it.
In the virtual world? Can I go Grant Cardone on this one and just start?
Jesus, please don't talk about Grant Cardone. No, I don't know what the fuck I watch, but like I get fed his videos. Like it's bad.
I like him. I think he assumes a lot of people can just get that kind of work ethic he has,
Yeah, I don't know how much of it's illusion. I have what I would consider an incredible work ethic. But I also have, I'm real when it comes to like expectations. The intersection of opportunity and preparedness is like some people's definition of luck. That's my definition. Some people just get lucky in business deals and have lump sums of cash fall into their checking account. I've had that, but I've had it also disappear just as quickly. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think they really do a disservice to most Americans or most humans, quite frankly. It's not that easy. But yes, a lot of what he says, like the spirit of what he says is true, but it's not that easy for everybody. We're not all created equally, intellectually, physically, and like initiative-wise. We're not all self-driven.
Yeah, well, I think we can put our own barriers in front of ourselves. So I do buy into what him or Gary Vee will say. It's how they say it a lot of the time that I like to make fun of.
Very dismissive.
No, it's just like, you got to get up, bro. You got to go. Like, I love Sundays. Sundays are my day. Yeah.
I know.
That's like Gary Vee. Like, that's what I'm already started on Monday, dude.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're a natural Adderall. Like, that's like, you have that in your veins. You don't have to take anything. There's just some people that are like that.
I know a handful of very high energy Gary Vee-like people, and not all of them are successful. They've got that drive, but they just choose to just live. It could be status quo, complacency, or they're just genuinely happy doing what the fuck they're doing. They don't need all of that. I teeter-totter on obviously I want to be happy, but I also want to be able to make a dent in the world. I want to do something significant. More often than not related to food and food scarcity. We can go down those rabbit holes in the future. But
we got a lot of irons in the fire, and I think we're gonna have to have you back on because you're a really good communicator for someone that's in your field.
Surrounded by computers.
I'm the social butterfly in tech. I've always been outspoken. I'm very blunt. I have no filter. I curse a lot. So when people talk to me, they're like, well, are you a programmer? Yeah, I've been doing this literally since I was 8 years old. Any business that I've been involved in, I've always kind of been the person that interfaces with the humans, in addition to interfacing with the technology. My partner Sami is the sales guy. He does game design and all of that. So we're very complementary. But yeah, you're absolutely right. In this industry, when I go to a convention, I'm the guy that's talking. Everybody else is just quiet as fucking awkward.
The bad boy.
Well, I can
IT.
Yeah, but the way you explained Web3, I can tell you put some thought into figuring out a concise way to explain it. And so
yeah, it's
like
it sounds corny, but like my conscience is more important than my bank account. And people that know me and see how I spend money, sometimes, they're like, well, how is that possible? You've blown $5,000 on, high-powered model rockets, which is not a joke. Actually, it was more like 10 grand. But long story short is I come from very humble beginnings, and I think that's really been instilled in me. Like, I treat people right, and I want to treat the customers right. I am not going to put my name on anything that's remotely close to snake oil. So like Web3, what I just described to you has been 3 years in kind of like the making. Like, how do I describe it? It's ownership. People want equity. They don't want to be taken advantage of. Look at Facebook's share price. Look at what Mark Zuckerberg is doing. He's buying fucking islands. Some people are just struggling to put food on the table. That's a problem.
Epstein Island, too. The sequel.
Yeah, that's another topic. I don't want to talk about that. That's crazy.
Well, it's crazy. It's not reported. That blows my fucking mind. That just made the news rounds for 2 days, and okay, bye. And it's like, let's look at the list of the powerful people on this. Yeah, but being a skilled communicator, like, again, you could say you've been trying to work on that for 3 years. I know plenty of people that would not even think about working on a way to say that. What I'm thinking is like Neil deGrasse Tyson's kind of amazing because he's a physicist, but he's also an excellent communicator in a field of people that cannot talk. And
absolutely.
And I feel like I get that kind of vibe out of you. Do you have a podcast? Are you doing are you on the stage at these trade shows? Because you should be.
No, and I'd like to. I'm growing into that role. I'm a behind-the-scenes person, quite frankly. Where I'm happy is solving like hard technical problems, doing R&D. But since we've seen a fair amount of success with Atlas Reality, and people like yourself, they receive my kind of tone and energy well. I am trying to figure out what makes sense. I had some videos, some short-form videos I was doing on LinkedIn. The problem with LinkedIn is it's dry. That's not the place for me to be myself. So I need to figure out what that outlet is. I think it's a 2023 objective. Like you said, one of your goals was to make a certain amount of money. One of my goals is to figure out where I fit in on the internet. So I'm not just writing software. I'm also sharing these ideas and being myself. I don't know where it will be. It won't be on fucking TikTok, and it most likely won't be on LinkedIn. I can assure you that.
Yeah, those are Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, so I was going to say you might have an obligation. Really, not everybody wants to do it, but if you're good talking with your wordsies, not everybody can do it.
Like Eric,
enjoy it.
The wordsies. You've been playing words with friends too much.
Yeah,
that loose dictionary they got on that. But my thing is I think you could do what we're doing on a very smaller level. Is you can kind of leverage you doing that personally as a personal brand, which I know you probably don't like to hear that.
Yeah.
Look, it feels gross. I get douche chills when I talk about it from my own comedy career and stuff like that. But at a certain point in time, what am I going to do on your deathbed? Are you going to look back and go, "I'm glad I overthought doing that and didn't do it"? And we can offline. We can tell you how to be really efficient with a podcast because we got this live on tape.
I'd absolutely love to pick your brain. That's something that I'm very interested in.
We'll fly to Austin.
Say that again.
We'll fly to Austin. We'll get some Lucy's fried chicken if it's still around.
Look, Lucy's is around. There's one right around the corner on Whitestone up here in Cedar Park. But yeah, no, look, I appreciate it. I'd love to communicate with you guys because it's definitely something I'm passionate about. I've always been behind the scenes though, and in the last few years, I've kind of been. I don't know where or what's compelling me, but more than likely it's this misinformation. I'm very blunt. I study things. I know it as fact. I'm not a spiritual person or religious person. I'm not trying to indoctrinate anybody. I'm just trying to tell you what's going to be useful. So I do think there's an audience. I just need to figure out how to get out in front of them. So any help would be appreciated.
Yeah. We'll set that up after this episode. But going back to the virtual real estate, let's. I'm trying to stay in one main topic.
Yes,
for at least this episode. Video game development is becoming very interesting. Because it's becoming such a blend of in people's brains. I think this virtual reality space, like what you have on the website about Atlas Reality, is it reminded me of augmented augmented reality apps where the first time I saw you could
like Pokemon Go, which I believe was brought up before.
I know. I was literally thinking of the apps that you could show the room and it would give you the measurements and it would give you the volume of something. That still kind of blows my mind, honestly.
I got to show you the Mario Kart thing that you could do Mario Kart through your house. It's cool.
Oh fuck!
Augmented reality Mario Kart.
That's by far one of the most impressive AR applications, the Mario Kart, where you have a physical RC car that's coupled with cameras, and then in the actual game, you're seeing your living room. I've only played it twice. Again, I don't have the attention span for it, but yeah, there are very few applications of AR that are useful. Like Pokemon Go obviously is great. They have an audience. They're making a lot of money. It's a really big IP. People enjoy the game. For us, even though we masquerade as an augmented reality app, we don't have that like traditional gorilla arm. You're holding your phone up and you see some bullshit on a map kind of implementation. For us, augmented reality is you've got a real map. So we build location-based games, much like Pokemon Go or Niantic. But instead of having that kind of gimmicky AR thing, we're just calling augmented reality the fact that we superimpose things on the map that really aren't there in reality. And even further, and this is how we monetize the game, in addition to in-app purchases where you're buying virtual currencies or watching ads, we're trying to create this virtuous cycle between what you do in real life and what you're doing online. So we have a nationwide network of merchant partners, Burger King, Popeye's Fried Chicken, Jamba Juice, Auntie Anne's Pretzels, Speedway Gas, that we have contracts with that allow us to drive business to them from our virtual game. And our players are rewarded for spending money at those merchants. So, again, trying to reward people for behaviors that they already have that are established. Introducing new behaviors or changing existing behaviors with players is very difficult. So if you're going to buy groceries, why not be rewarded for it? If you're not using a rewards, cashback credit card, we'll reward you in-game currency. So that's what we're considering augmented reality. We don't really, like I said, have any of those gimmicky, like throwing the Pokeball, catching a Pokemon Go style thing.
We need to have them come on the show.
How do we
virtual reality?
Well, how do you get
come in our studio?
Is there a place for a podcast in the Atlas reality?
I've heard about virtual comedy shows and stuff.
How could that work?
Not yet. So there's this metaverse kind of topic. I'm not a fan of the term, quite frankly, because it's difficult to define. No one really has given me a definition that's satisfactory. But interacting with people in 3 dimensions. Like we're talking now 2-dimensional. You're behind a camera, I'm behind a camera. We're ourselves. It's just projecting an image. I was part of a very early, and you might have heard of a game called Second Life from a company called Linden Labs. We're talking 10, 12, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
3D spaces. But for me, going online in 3D in let's say an Oculus Quest or a VR headset and watching a podcast is something that I would be entertained by. I would do it. And I haven't done it myself. I haven't seen or witnessed it, but I have gone to concerts with my 15-year-old son in a game called Rec Room, which was kind of mind-blowing. But no, in Atlas Earth right now, we're literally just location-based on your mobile phone. We're working on companion apps, and one of which will be a virtual reality app that probably won't see the light of day until 2025, or 2024 rather, but we are working on ways to allow people to socialize. Social interaction right now is not something you do in the game. We want to bring that, but we're continuously building out the core features at the moment.
Yeah, we call dibs on first podcast on there.
Okay, dibs.
Yeah, it's
good. Let's do it.
It's binding contract because we said it on there.
We've got a 360 camera.
Yeah,
somewhere
we were messing
talking
with that.
about investing in just forgetting about it. It's around here somewhere.
Honestly, there's so much other equipment around here that
it's so stupid.
we were kind of hypocritical talking about your background.
I owned it.
But look, I have a similar kind of thing where I'll pack rat some parts of my life, and it's not good for me. But this sounds overwhelming. Not only just the game itself to have it develop, you have to have it has to be a good game, right? That's always tough. And I think about a lot of these games that are kind of next level, no pun intended, but where you're building a world, right? So it's and it almost feels boundless. Does this kind of overwhelm you?
Is it the idea that the world is already built?
Or do they build it?
Just plopping on top of it?
We're on top of it. So there are bounds. It's the Earth, the globe itself, which is attractive, but it's large.
Well, it's flat, so that helps. Yeah.
It may very well
about
be.
The inside?
I'm a flat and hollow earther. I believe it's flat and it's hollow in the middle.
Right, and it's hollow.
Oh shit!
It's like a square bagel.
That would make mapping technology way easier because right now we have to unwrap an oblique spheroid onto a rectangle, and you get distortion at the poles. But anyhow,
They want you to believe.
I love old school explorers too much to be a flat earther. Give me some Magellan, some Ponce de Leon, Vasco da Gama.
Yes.
This is the first time I brought this up on the show. Eric's like, did you read a social studies
What
book?
did you read on the toilet today?
No, I've always loved explorers.
Throw these names out at your next dinner party.
Trying to take my dad to the Panama Canal because he wants to see the locks.
I would love to go see that. I've always been fascinated with that, but I have no reason to be there. I don't like the sun. I don't like the sand, and I don't want to be outside if it's like, why would I go?
Austin's a great spot for you. Yeah, I don't go to Zyker Park. I don't do any of it. What are you talking about? All right, so sorry. Where were we? Well, to me, it just seems like not so much in boundaries, but it's boundless in the sense that you can build so much. Like you have another world to think about, I guess, is the way I'm kind of thinking about it. And then you have a business side of this. And then you have
I could see it. It must keep you up at night. The possibilities being so broad, and being like, wait.
To me,
I need to write this down.
To me, this is
anything can happen.
It's the ultimate creative. Because people think I hate being called a creative by people because it's like, no, you're putting me in an artsy kind of flaky category in my head.
Right.
It's
whatever happens.
Right.
The canvas. No.
I can rebrand your company, no problem. It's not. It's more math to me than it is anything else. But you get labeled a creative. You're like, no, I'm creative in figuring out puzzles. I feel like you got that same thing, like creating solutions. I feel like Jesse Jackson saying that, but I'm not creative. I'm creating solutions. All right, so
Jesse Jackson.
Remember this Al Sharpton? I did a black simile. So does this overwhelm you? And you're a dad too. That's not that with 3 kids. You're outnumbered.
My kids are old and they live. I travel between New Orleans and Austin every 2 weeks or every other 2 weeks. Thankfully, they're like 15, 10, and 12. When I first moved to Austin 8 years ago, the constant travel was kind of a burn. But I don't. Thankfully, genetically, I'm not predispositioned to be overwhelmed. That's just like I remain relatively cool, calm, and collected. There are things that I do lose sleep over. More often than not, it's about humans, not technology. Managing a team, building a team, maintaining a chemistry, hiring, firing. That's where most of my strife, like just with like what I have to do as an entrepreneur or a co-founder, comes from. On the tech side, no, my partner and I, we spitball just like the two of you guys go back and forth and banter. Now, we're not sitting next to each other, but we probably talk 10 times a day. That's what drives like the vision of the business is we have ideas, we'll see something, we'll have an epiphany, a dream, like you wake up and like, hey, what about this? But we've got probably 24 months of features that we want to roll out into Atlas Earth. And right now, Atlas Earth is really just a relatively lightweight game. We've always looked at it as a platform, and we've got the eyeballs. We're at 1.5 million users, which is for a relatively new company. It's if you add up all of the other ones in this genre, we surpass them by a lot. But we've got a lot of features that we want to add, and the core of almost all of those features is allowing us to share more with the player, allowing them to earn more. So this whole creator economy. You're selling land. Well, what's the natural evolution of land sale? Well, you want to build shit on the land. So think Roblox, where you can build games and interactive experiences. Now, for a small team, we're 25 people. Bringing that to fruition is not going to happen overnight. But yeah, I mean, look, we've got a really well thought out roadmap. But I do lose sleep over human resources. That's where most of my stress comes from.
We gang tape these episodes sometimes, and the guest is 30 minutes early that we have. We were going to close out this episode anyway, pretty quickly. I got 2 things. One, you said how you got people from we're in the marketing world, so like the fact that you could get people from the game to go into a BK and get a Whopper is one of the hardest things to do for marketing right now. Like, to get it in people's heads with repetition, to not annoy them so much with the frequency, but get them from going offline to online to get them to actually physically going somewhere. So kudos to you on that being successful. The other thing is, what is the metric y'all use? Because like for apps, 10 years ago, it used to be daily active users. That's the golden metric really to go by. Is that daily active users for y'all? Or
DAU, yeah. DAU is still in our space, mobile apps and mobile games. The metric that we use, we hover around 70,000 daily active users.
God damn.
So it's pretty wild. Yeah, I mean, there's average revenue per daily active user on the financial side. So when we're talking how successfully, that's what you want to know. But like just having people and eyeballs is not, in our world, the most important. It's how much money you're able to actually make per set of eyeballs. I'm not at liberty to disclose that, but DAU is very common.
Yeah, no, that's great. All right, we got to have you back on. We'll email you to follow up.
Yeah, shoot me an email. I would love to shoot the shit with you guys. It was a pleasure meeting you. I look forward to hearing the episode. It should be interesting.
You're gonna listen to your own episode? We don't do that.
I always go through. It's something new. I'll probably get tired of it at some point. But it's a pleasure.
We'll send you the link when it's up, buddy.
Excellent. Y'all have a great day, gentlemen.
Same.
Y'all
Thank you.
That's it.
Bye-bye.